Hello, everyone, and welcome back to LinguaWave English. I cannot tell you how good it feels to be back here behind the microphone. I'm your host, Evan.
And I'm your host, Erin. Hello to all of our listeners around the world. We are so happy that you have decided to join us for today's deep dive.
Whether you are listening on your way to work, or maybe while you are washing dishes, or, just relaxing at home, we're glad you were here.
We really are. Your daily life is the perfect place to practice.
Exactly. And whenever we start a new deep dive, I always like to take just a little moment to check in. It helps settle into the conversation. So, how are you doing today? And, really, how are you?
Honestly, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. It has been a bit of a whirlwind of a day for me.
A whirlwind. That is a great word.
Yes, a whirlwind means it was very busy, lots of things happening all at once, like a fast-spinning wind. I had a lot of work to finish before sitting down right now.
But you are feeling okay now.
Oh, definitely. Right now, sitting here for this deep dive, I'm feeling very excited.
Why the excitement?
Because I love this part of my week. I am excited to record this with you. It is really the highlight of my day. How about you? How are you feeling right now?
I am good too, thank you. To be honest with you and with our listeners, I am a little tired today.
A long week.
Very long. I think I just did not get enough sleep last night. But, at the same time, I am happy.
Tired but happy. That is a very common combination for adults.
It really is. Talking here always gives me energy. It wakes me up. It is like drinking a strong cup of coffee, but better because it is a conversation.
That is so sweet. I feel the exact same way. There's just something about speaking English, sharing ideas, and helping our listeners that gives me a huge boost.
And today is a very special deep dive for LinguaWave English. The topic we are going to cover is perfect for our listeners, no matter where they are in their English journey.
Yes, it is. Today, we are going to talk about something we do every single day. We are not talking about rocket science.
No complex philosophy today.
Right. We are going to talk about our daily routines.
That is exactly right. The title of our deep dive today is From Alarm Clock to Bedtime, How to Describe Your Daily Routine in English.
We are going to cover everything, from the very moment that annoying alarm clock rings in the morning, all the way until your head hits the pillow at night.
Now, I think some of our listeners might be asking themselves a question right now. They might be thinking, why is this important?
Yeah, they might think it sounds boring. Why do I need to learn how to talk about brushing my teeth or eating toast?
That is a very valid question. Why spend an hour talking about ordinary things?
Well, it is important for a few reasons. First, your daily life is where you live. It is completely full of English learning opportunities.
That makes sense.
Every single time you do something, even a small thing like making tea, you can think about it in English. It turns your whole life into a classroom.
Exactly. And secondly, think about the social aspect. Think about real conversations. When you meet a new friend, what do people actually talk about?
They talk about their lives.
Right. They ask questions like, what do you do in the morning? Or how's your day going?
Or what did you do today? These are probably the most common questions in the entire world.
Yes. They were the absolute foundation of small talk. If you cannot answer these simple questions, it is hard to make friends.
Precisely. If you practice describing your day with us right now, you will not freeze when someone asks you later.
You will not feel nervous. You will not feel shy. You will be completely ready.
I like that idea. Being ready. Preparation is the key to confidence.
We want to help you build what I like to call a toolbox.
Oh, I love this analogy. Tell us about the toolbox.
Imagine a physical box that holds tools. But instead of a hammer, a saw, or a screwdriver, this box is filled with English sentences and phrases.
Sentences ready to be used.
Exactly. If you have a toolbox of sentences ready to go, you do not have to invent the language every single time you speak.
You just reach into your mental toolbox.
Right. You reach in, pull out the phrase, I take the bus, and you just use it. You will sound natural. You will sound confident.
That is our main goal for you today. We want you to be confident speakers.
And we have a lot of details to cover.
We do. But before we dive into the details of our day, I want to remind you of two very exciting things.
What is the first thing?
First, please stay with us until the very end of this deep dive. Do not turn it off early. At the end, we have a special vocabulary breakdown.
Ah, yes. The vocabulary segment.
Usually our guide Crystal handles this, but today I am going to personally walk you through 10 essential words from today's conversation.
That is going to be incredibly helpful.
It will be. I will explain the key words, give you specific examples, and give you a chance to repeat the words out loud. It is very good practice for your pronunciation.
And the second thing?
The second thing is a wonderful resource for your study routine. We have prepared a completely free PDF guide for you.
That is right. This PDF guide has comprehension questions to see if you understood our conversation.
It has grammar practice and vocabulary exercises based on everything we discussed today.
You can find the link in the description below this audio. Please download it so you can practice more after listening.
It will really help make these phrases a permanent part of your daily English.
Okay, I think that is enough housekeeping. Are you ready to start our day?
I am ready. Let us start at the very beginning. Let us start with the morning routine.
The morning, the start of the day. The sun comes up, the birds sing.
And the alarm rings. I have to be completely honest here. Mornings can be so hard.
They are difficult for you.
Very difficult. I am what you call a night owl, not an early bird.
A night owl. For our listeners, a night owl is an English idiom for someone who likes to stay up late.
Right. Exactly. I love the quiet of the nighttime. So waking up is a real struggle. I just love sleeping. My bed is so warm and comfortable.
What time does your alarm ring?
For me, the alarm rings at 7 a.m.
7 a.m. That is a pretty reasonable time. It is not too early, but not too late.
It is reasonable intellectually, but emotionally. My body does not want to do it.
I can imagine.
I hear the noise and I groan. But finally, I force myself. I sit up. I do a big stretch with my arms reaching all the way up to the ceiling.
Getting the blood flowing.
Yes. And then I say a specific phrase to myself to get motivated.
Wait, you talk to yourself in the morning. What do you say?
I do. I sit there and I say out loud, okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. That is great.
It is a small verbal push. It signals to my brain that sleep is finally over. Okay, let's go.
I really like that. It is simple and effective.
Yeah.
I am very similar to you, although my timing is just a little bit different.
What time is your alarm?
My alarm goes off a little earlier. It goes off at 6:30 a.m.
6:30. That feels very early to me.
It feels early to me, too. And I must admit, I have a bad habit. A very bad habit that I'm really trying to break.
What habit is that?
I have the snooze habit.
Oh, the snooze button. That is a dangerous little button.
Yeah.
Can you explain to the listeners exactly what snooze means?
Sure. When your alarm rings on your phone or your clock, there's usually a button that says snooze.
Right on the screen.
If you press it, the alarm stops. But it will ring again in a short time, usually about 9 or 10 minutes later.
So it delays the inevitable.
Exactly. So the alarm rings at 6:30, and I hit snooze. The room goes quiet again. I always say to myself, just 5 more minutes. I just need 5 more minutes.
Just 5 minutes.
That is what I tell myself. But it is a lie, because 5 minutes turns into 10. Then the alarm rings again, and I hit snooze again.
Oh, no.
And somehow that turns into 20 minutes. I end up sleeping for 20 extra minutes. But it is not good sleep. It is anxious sleep.
That is so dangerous. You might be late for work if you keep doing that.
I know. It makes the morning feel very rushed. But eventually, the guilt wakes me up.
The guilt of being late.
Exactly. Once I am finally up, out of bed, standing on my 2 feet, I start my hygiene routine.
Hygiene. That is a good word. It refers to keeping yourself clean. What are your specific steps?
Well, I usually stumble into the bathroom. I am still half asleep at this point.
Still a bit of a zombie.
Definitely. First, I brush my teeth. That minty flavor of the toothpaste helps wake me up a little bit.
Toothpaste is surprisingly refreshing.
It is. Then, I wash my face with cold water.
Cold water, not warm.
No, strictly cold. The shock of the cold water really helps to wake me up. It forces my eyes to open.
That sounds intense.
It is, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes the most important part of my entire morning. I take a shower.
You take a shower in the morning. I know some people really prefer the evening, but you are a dedicated morning shower person.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
I literally cannot start my day without it. For me, standing under the warm water is like pressing a magic button. I call it the restart button.
Like on a computer, the restart button.
Exactly like a computer. Think about a computer for a second. When it is running slow or freezing or just acting weird, what do?
You restart it, you turn it off and on again.
Right. When I wake up, I feel slow. I feel groggy.
Groggy. Let us highlight that word for the listener.
Good idea. Groggy means you feel sleepy, heavy, and unfocused.
It is that feeling when your brain is not fully awake yet.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the shower restarts me. It washes away the groggy feeling. It washes away the sleep. It makes me feel fresh and ready to tackle the day.
That is a brilliant analogy, a restart button. I think many people around the world feel exactly that way.
It is a clear transition from sleeping to awake.
So, now we are clean, we have brushed our teeth, we are dressed. What comes next in the routine?
It is time for fuel. It is time for breakfast. People always say it is the most important meal of the day.
For some people, definitely. I know some people who just skip breakfast entirely, but I cannot do that. I need food. Let us talk about our breakfast routines.
What do you usually eat?
My menu is usually very simple. I'm certainly not a fancy chef in the morning. I usually just have toast with jam.
Toast with jam. A classic choice. What kind of jam do you prefer? Strawberry? Raspberry?
Usually strawberry. I really like the sweetness in the morning.
Do you ever eat anything else?
Sometimes, if I am very hungry, or if I know I have a very long day ahead of me at the office, I will make eggs.
How do you cook them?
Maybe scrambled eggs. Just quick and easy.
Hmm.
But on the weekends, if I'm feeling fancy or special, I make pancakes.
Pancakes are great. They feel like a weekend celebration.
They really do.
But we have to talk about the absolutely most critical part of breakfast. What you drink.
Oh, you already know the answer to this. It is the most important part of my entire morning. I drink coffee.
Just coffee.
Coffee is my best friend in the morning. I literally cannot function without it.
Coffee is my best friend. That is a very strong statement.
It is completely true. I love the smell of it brewing in the kitchen. I love the feeling of the warm mug in my hands. It is a daily ritual for me.
I think millions of our listeners completely agree with you. Coffee culture is huge everywhere.
What about you, listeners? Are you team coffee or team tea?
We would love to know.
What about you? Which team are you on? Do you drink coffee?
No, actually, I am the exact opposite. My approach is simpler and a lot less caffeinated. I drink tea.
Just normal tea.
I usually have a strong cup of black tea with my toast. Or sometimes, if I am in a big rush and have no time, I just have a bowl of cereal with cold milk.
That is a very classic, easy breakfast. Cereal is so quick.
It is. And I want to pause here for a second. We have been describing a lot of daily actions. I want to highlight something about the English language for our listeners right now.
What is that?
Listen closely to the sentences we just used to describe our mornings.
Okay.
We said things like, I eat bread, I drink coffee, I drink tea, I make eggs.
They are very short, basic sentences.
Yes, they are. They are simple sentence structures. You have the subject, which is I. You have the verb like eat, and the object, like bread, I eat bread.
That is the core of English grammar.
Exactly. I want our listeners to realize that you do not need complex academic grammar to tell your daily story.
You do not need to use huge vocabulary words.
Right. When you string these simple sentences together, when you put them one right after another, you are naturally building a clear narrative.
That is a very good point. You do not need to say something strange like, upon rising from my slumber, I proceeded to consume a slice of toasted wheat bread.
No. Nobody talks like that in real life.
You can just say, I wake up, I shower, I eat toast, and people will understand you perfectly and naturally.
Exactly. Simple is often much better. Simple is clear.
Okay, so we have eaten our breakfast. We are fully awake. Now the clock is ticking. It is time to leave the house.
Yes. The relaxing part of the morning is officially over. It is time to get ready for work. This brings us to part 2, getting ready and commute.
What is your routine for actually leaving the house? Do you rush out the door?
I try very hard not to rush, but honestly, sometimes I do.
Yeah, what are the final steps before you leave?
Well, first I get dressed. I have to choose my clothes for the office. Then I check my bag.
What kind of bag?
I have a backpack that I take to work every day. I have to make sure I have my laptop inside it. If I forget my laptop, I literally cannot do my job.
That would definitely be a huge problem.
Then I do a quick little tour of the house. I walk around to look at everything. I check. Are the lights off?
Checking the lights is a good habit.
I do not want to waste electricity. It is good for the environment, and it is good for the electricity bill.
Yes, definitely. And then, right before I touch the door handle to open the door, I do what I call the pocket check.
The pocket check. I think everyone in the world does this, even if they do not have a specific name for it. What exactly is in your pocket check?
I check for 3 very specific items. I literally pat my pockets with my hands, or I look deep into my bag.
What are the items?
Item number 1, wallet. Item number 2, phone. Item number 3, keys. Wallet, phone, keys. I sometimes even say it out loud to myself.
That is a very, very important list. The holy trinity of leaving the house.
It is absolutely essential. Let me tell you a quick story about why I do this every single day.
I would love to hear it.
A few years ago, I did not do my pocket check. I was in a terrible hurry. I ran out the front door and I just slammed it shut behind me.
Oh, no. I think I know exactly where this story is going.
As soon as the door clicked shut, in that exact second, I realized my huge mistake. My keys were sitting right on the kitchen table, inside the house.
And the door locked automatically behind you.
Yes. It is one of those doors that locks automatically when it closes. I locked myself out.
Wow. Did you at least have your phone to call for help?
No, I did not have my phone either. It was also inside.
That is terrible. What did you do?
It was incredibly embarrassing. I felt so silly. I was just standing there in the hallway in my work clothes, staring at my own locked door.
How did you get back inside?
I had to wait outside on the street for my neighbor to finally come home. I had to borrow their phone to call a professional locksmith to open my door.
That must have taken a long time.
It took hours, and it cost money. It was absolutely not fun.
I can easily imagine. That is a very hard lesson to learn. But it sounds like you learned it well.
I did. Ever since that horrible day, I always double check. I look 2 times. Wallet, phone, keys.
That is a lesson learned, as we say in English. I do the exact same check before I leave. Wallet, phone, keys.
Once you have those 3 things, you are safe.
Right. Once I have those 3 things, I know I can survive anything the day throws at me. So once I am ready, I finally open the door, I step outside, I take a deep breath of the fresh morning air, and I head out.
Head out.
Yeah.
That is a great phrasal verb.
It is. Head out simply means to leave. I head out to work.
So we are leaving the house. We are going to work.
You know, since we are doing this deep dive into our daily routines, and we are being totally honest with our listeners, maybe we should share a little secret with them.
A secret. Which secret do you mean?
The secret about our jobs. About what we actually do.
Oh, that secret. Yes, we should. Listeners, you know us primarily as your English hosts. You know us as Evan and Erin, the people talking into microphones.
But we actually have regular day jobs, too.
That is right. When we are not recording this deep dive, we are both software engineers.
Yes, we are. Software engineers in the tech industry.
Can you explain what that means for someone who might not know the term?
Sure. Basically, it means we work with computers for a living. We spend all day sitting at desks looking at computer screens.
And typing. Lots of typing.
We write code. Code is basically the secret language that computers understand. We write very detailed instructions to tell the computer exactly what to do.
And a really big part of our job is fixing problems when the computer does not understand the instructions.
Yes, we fix a lot of problems. Technology is not always perfect.
Far from it. Sometimes the code just does not work. The computer does not do what we want it to do at all.
We actually have a great English idiom for this exact frustrating situation. We say we are scratching our heads.
Scratching our heads. I always love that visual image.
Literally, it means using your fingernails to scratch the skin on your head, your scalp. But what does it mean as an idiom?
As an idiom, it means we are deeply confused, we are puzzled, we just do not know the answer. We look at the computer screen, we see a big red error message, and we think, why is this not working? I know I wrote it correctly. And we literally or figuratively scratch our heads trying to figure it out.
But, you know, even when it is hard, it is actually pretty fun. It is like solving a giant puzzle.
Solving problems is very rewarding. It feels so good when you finally find the correct answer.
And the really funny part about our story, the reason we are doing this LinguaWave English show together.
We work at the exact same company.
That is true. We are colleagues. That is actually how we became best friends in the first place.
Yes, we met at the office. We started talking during lunch about our shared love for languages and teaching, and here we are today.
People often ask us a very specific question. They say, if you work all day as software engineers, when do you actually record the audio?
That is a very common question we get.
The truth is, we usually record on the weekends, like we're doing today. Or sometimes we record late after work when we still have just a little bit of energy left.
This show is what we call our passion project.
Can you define the phrase passion project for everyone?
A passion project is something you do purely because you love it, not just to make money.
You have a passion for it.
Right. We love teaching English. We love connecting with all of you listening right now, so we happily make time for it in our busy schedules.
We are besties at work and besties on the mic.
Besties. That is a fun slang word for best friends. Okay, so we have our jobs. We know exactly where we are going. But before we can actually start working, we have to get there.
The travel part.
Yes, we have to travel from our comfortable homes to the office building.
This brings us to a very important vocabulary word, the commute.
The commute.
Commute. It is a great word and a very, very common noun in English. C-O-M-M-U-T-E. The commute is the daily journey from your home to your workplace.
It can be a short commute or it can be a very long commute.
Everyone has a slightly different commute. How do you get to work?
I drive my car.
You drive. You are a driver on the busy roads.
Yes, I am. Some people think driving to work is a luxury. They think it is wonderful to have a private car, to be able to listen to your own loud music, to have your own private space.
That does sound pretty nice, honestly.
It sounds nice in theory, but actually in my city, it is incredibly stressful.
Why is it stressful? You are sitting in a comfortable seat.
It is the other cars.
Hey.
It is the traffic jams.
Oh, traffic jams. When thousands of cars are on the road, stopped, and nobody is moving.
Yes. We also call that gridlock.
Gridlock. That is when the cars are stuck together like a locked grid.
Exactly. You just sit there in your car, you watch the clock ticking on your dashboard, you start to worry about being late for your morning meeting.
That raises the blood pressure.
And then there are the honking horns. Beep, beep. It is so noisy. People get very angry. We call that specific anger road rage.
Road rage. When people get furiously angry while they're driving.
Exactly. People shouting in their cars. And do you know what the absolute worst part is?
What could be worse than the traffic?
Finding parking.
Finding a safe place to put the car once you finally arrive at the office.
It is a total nightmare. Sometimes I finally get to work, but the office parking lot is completely full.
What do you do then?
I have to drive around the neighboring streets in slow circles for 10 or 15 minutes just looking for an empty spot. It makes me feel anxious before I even walk in the front door of the office.
It is a nightmare. That is a very strong phrase. It means it is a very bad, frustrating, terrible situation.
It really is. What about you? You don't have a car, do you?
No, I do not drive to work. I take the bus like a regular human. I use public transportation.
Is the bus better than taking a car? Is it more relaxing because you don't have to drive?
Oh, it's definitely not paradise.
Paradise. That means a perfect place, like a beautiful tropical island.
Right. The city bus at 7:30 in the morning is definitely not paradise.
Why not? You just sit there and someone else drives, right?
In theory, yes. But in reality, the bus is often very, very crowded, especially in the morning during what we call rush hour.
Rush hour. Let us explain that. Rush hour is the specific time in the morning and evening when everyone in the city is rushing to go to work or go home.
Right. So during rush hour, the bus is completely full. There are way too many people inside. Sometimes there are absolutely no empty seats left when I get on.
So what happens?
I have to stand up for the entire way to work.
That sounds tiring. Standing up for 30 or 40 minutes straight?
It is very tiring. And the bus is moving fast and turning sharp corners and stopping very suddenly at red lights.
That sounds hard to balance.
It is. I am standing there, holding tightly onto the metal rail above my head, swaying like a zombie.
Swaying. That is a nice descriptive verb. It means moving slowly from side to side, left and right.
Exactly, swaying. Trying very hard not to fall down onto the poor person standing next to me. Takes a lot of core balance.
I can see why that is not paradise.
But listeners, I want you to look at the practical language we're using here. There are two simple ways to talk about transportation.
You can say the action, like, I drive my car, or I take the bus.
Yes. And then you can describe the feeling or the experience. You can say, the commute is stressful, or the bus is crowded.
These are simple, descriptive sentences, but they paint a very clear picture of your daily life.
Okay, so we have finally survived the long commute. We have arrived at the big office building.
We made it. Now begins part 3 of our day, the workday.
We finally arrive. We walk through the heavy glass doors. What happens first?
Well, I reach the office floor. I walk to my desk. I say hello to my friends and colleagues. I usually say good morning, as I pass their desks.
Being polite.
Yes. Then I sit down in my chair, and I slowly open my laptop. And then the daily struggle begins. The emails.
Oh, the emails, the electronic letters that simply never, ever stop coming.
The emails literally never end. I open my computer inbox, and there are 20, 30, sometimes 50 brand new messages waiting for me since yesterday.
50. That is a lot to read.
It can be very scary to see that number. Sometimes I feel completely overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. That is a very useful emotion word for our listeners to know. It means you feel like you have way too much to do, and you simply do not know where to start. You feel buried under the work.
Yes. It is a very heavy, panicky feeling in your chest.
What do you do when you feel overwhelmed like that? Do you just shut the computer and go back home?
I really wish I could. No, I have a personal coping strategy. I close my eyes, I take a very deep breath, and I silently tell myself, okay, Erin, do not panic. Just one at a time.
Do not panic. That is excellent advice for life in general.
It works. I open one email, I read it, I type an answer, then I delete it or archive it so it is gone. Then I move to the next one at a time. It is the only possible way to get through the pile.
I do the exact same thing. After emails, I check my tasks. I have a digital to-do list, a list of specific things I need to accomplish before I can leave.
What is usually written on your to-do list?
Usually technical things like write new code for the login page or fix bugs.
Ah, bugs. Now, listeners, we really need to clarify this word. Evan is not talking about insects here.
No, definitely not.
He is not talking about catching actual spiders or flies in the office.
That is right. We are software engineers. We are not bug exterminators. In computer language, in the modern tech world, a bug is a mistake in the code.
It is a typing error or a logic error that makes the computer program crash or act weird.
So when I say fixing bugs, it means I am hunting for the mistake in the code and correcting it.
And do you have a lot of meetings in your day?
Oh, yes. Way too many meetings. We sit in a conference room or we get on a video call on our laptops and we just talk about the work we need to do.
Sometimes talking about work takes longer than actually doing the work.
Exactly. I have to spend time preparing for those meetings. Some days are very heavy. They feel difficult and long. But I will say, finally solving a complex problem makes me feel incredibly productive.
Productive, that is a great positive vocabulary word. It means you are doing good, useful work. You are achieving real results. You are not just wasting your time staring at the wall.
Yes. Feeling productive is a very satisfying feeling, and I think our listeners can totally connect to this feeling, even if they are not software engineers like us.
How so?
Well, if you are a student right now, your full-time job is school. You can use very similar sentence structures to describe your day.
Like what? How would a student describe their daily routine?
A student can easily say, I go to class, I listen carefully to the teacher, I take notes in my notebook, I study for a big exam.
Oh, I see. It is the exact same simple structure as I go to work or I write code.
Yes.
You're just describing your specific daily tasks.
That's true. Everyone has a routine. But we have to admit something important here. The best part of the workday is absolutely not the emails.
Definitely not.
It is not the meetings, and it is not fixing the bugs.
What is the best part then?
It is the lunch break.
Yes. Food again. We really do love talking about food on this show.
We do. What time is your lunch break?
My lunch is usually around 1 p.m. I usually eat with my colleagues from the office, including you sometimes.
Yes, we try to eat together when we are both in the office.
We all walk down to the building cafeteria, or maybe a nearby restaurant on the street.
And what do we talk about when we eat? Do we talk about writing code?
We try very hard not to. We talk about the delicious food, or funny movies we watched on TV, or just our personal lives. We try to completely disconnect our brains from work.
That is so important, to take a real mental break.
It really is. I like to think of the lunch break as a small holiday.
A small holiday right in the middle of the Tuesday. That is a beautiful image. Just one single hour of vacation.
Exactly. It is a designated time to relax and recharge your batteries. And I also have a very healthy habit that I do during lunch.
What is your healthy habit?
I try to take a brisk 10-minute walk outside the building after I finish eating.
Why do you go for a walk?
To refresh my mind. The recycled air inside the big office building feels very stale and dry. The fresh wind outside helps me think much clearer in the afternoon.
So it wakes you up.
Yes. It wakes me up again for the difficult second half of the day.
That is a genuinely great habit. I should probably do that more often instead of just sitting in my chair. Because after lunch, it is right back to the desk. It is time for the afternoon grind.
The grind. That is a common slang term for hard, continuous, repetitive work.
Yes, back to the grind. More tasks on the to-do list. More long meetings. More difficult bugs to fix. But as the day goes on and gets later, there's a very good feeling that slowly starts to build inside.
What feeling is that?
Satisfaction. When I finally finish a big, difficult task, or when I finally fix that one terrible bug that was making me scratch my head for 3 hours, I feel deeply proud.
It is a great feeling of accomplishment.
It is the absolute best feeling to look at the clock and say, I did something important today, I fixed it, I earned my salary.
I love that feeling. It truly makes all the morning stress worth it. But eventually the clock strikes 5 p.m., or maybe 6 p.m. if we are busy.
The day is finally done. The work is officially finished.
I shut down my programs and I close my laptop, and let me tell you, that physical sound, the soft click of the metal laptop closing shut, is the best sound in the entire world.
It really is.
It feels like a massive victory, a small daily victory. I am finally free.
Freedom. You have officially survived another work day.
And of course, I have to commute all the way home again. That is the second commute of the day.
Evening rush hour.
Yes. The traffic is usually just as bad or even worse, but I honestly do not care as much because I know I am going home to relax. But let us skip the boring travel part and imagine we are already back in our sanctuary.
Our sanctuary, our home. This brings us to part 4, evening and bedtime.
So I finally arrive home, I unlock the door, I step inside, and I immediately take off my stiff work shoes. And then it is time for dinner.
Dinner is very special for you and your family, right? It is not just about quickly eating calories to survive.
Yes, exactly. Dinner is a very important event in my household. It is all about connection. I cook a warm dinner, or sometimes if we are too tired, we order food from a restaurant, and I sit down and eat with my family.
That sounds really nice.
We actually have a very strict rule at the dinner table. No phones allowed at the table.
No phones at all. That is very strict for this day and age.
It is strict, but it is absolutely necessary. We put away our glowing screens so we can actually look at each other's faces. We talk to each other.
What do you usually talk about?
We share stories about our day. I talk about my frustrating bugs and my crazy avalanche of emails. They talk about what happened at their school or their work.
It sounds like a great way to decompress.
It is. It feels very warm and safe. It is a happy time to just reconnect after being separated all day.
That sounds lovely. It really grounds you. Listeners, again, look at the simplicity. You can just say, I eat dinner, I spend time with my family, we talk.
Exactly. Just simple, true statements. What about your evening, Evan? You live alone in your apartment. What is your evening routine like?
Well, after I eat dinner, I usually take a second shower.
Another shower. You really, really love your showers.
I do. I told you earlier, I love them. But they serve different purposes. The morning shower is purely functional. It is cold and fast to wake my brain up.
And the evening shower?
The evening shower is therapeutic. It is slow and hot. It is to relax my muscles. I feel like it physically washes away the stress and the dirt of the long day.
Like washing off the office.
Exactly. It creates a psychological boundary. It separates work Evan from home Evan.
That makes a lot of psychological sense. It is a clear boundary. What do you do after you are clean and relaxed?
Then I finally have free time for my personal hobbies. I do not want to think about code or work anymore.
What are your hobbies? What do you actually do to relax in the living room?
I really like reading books, usually fiction, like fantasy or science fiction. I like getting completely lost in a made-up story. Yes. Or I like watching TV series on the couch. I love a good, funny comedy to make me laugh out loud. Or sometimes, on dizzy nights like tonight, my hobby is recording this deep dive.
I watch TV, I read books, I record audio. Again, listeners, notice the simple active sentences. You are just listing your enjoyable activities.
Finally, it gets late. The sun goes down completely. The stars come out in the sky. It is nighttime.
Bedtime rituals. A ritual is a specific set of actions you do the exact same way every single time. It's signal to your physical body that it is almost time to sleep.
What is your specific bedtime ritual?
First, I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth again. Dental hygiene is very important morning and night. Then, I change out of my clothes and into my pajamas.
Pajamas. Probably the most comfortable clothes in the world.
Oh, yes. Soft, loose, warm clothes. And then, well, I have to confess something to you. I have a very bad habit at night, too.
Oh, what is your bad evening habit?
I lie in bed and I scroll on my phone.
Scrolling. Moving the bright screen up and up with your thumb. Endlessly looking at social media posts.
Yes. I lie there in the dark under the blankets, and I check Instagram photos or I read depressing news articles. It is highly addictive, but I know it is terrible for me.
It is very hard to stop once you start.
I try hard not to do it for too long. The bright blue light shining from the phone screen is scientifically bad for your sleep. It literally tricks your brain into thinking the sun is still up and it is daytime.
That is very true. It stops your body from resting. It keeps you awake.
So after a few minutes, I force myself to put the phone away on the nightstand. I like to officially end the day by reading a real, physical paper book, just a few pages.
A paper book is much better than a screen.
It really helps me stay calm. It quiets my racing mind.
That sounds very peaceful. Much healthier than the glowing phone.
Then I reach over and turn off the small lamp. The room goes completely dark. What about you? How do you fall asleep?
My night is pretty similar. I brush my teeth, I get into my warm bed. But right before I finally go to sleep, I like to lie there and reflect.
Reflect. What do you mean by that?
I take a quiet moment to just think. I mentally review my entire day from start to finish. I think about what went well.
Focusing on the positive.
Yes.
Hey.
I try to find at least one good thing I'm grateful for, and then I think about tomorrow. I make a rough plan in my head. Okay, tomorrow I need to do task X, task Y, and task Z.
That is a really good way to mentally organize everything so you do not lie there and worry while you are trying to sleep.
Exactly. It completely clears my head of anxiety. Then I finally close my heavy eyes and I sleep. Hopefully I dream of nice, relaxing things.
And then just a few short hours later, that alarm rings again and we start the whole thing all over. The daily cycle just continues.
Ideally, yes. So listeners, do you see what we have carefully done here today? We've slowly walked through an entire human day.
And we realize that talking about your everyday day does not need big, fancy, complicated words. You do not need confusing academic language to sound interesting to people.
No, not at all. You just need to accurately describe your daily actions. Step by step, from morning to night, I wake up, I eat, I work, I sleep.
You are telling the unique story of your life. And your life is interesting to the people who want to know you.
Now, we have thrown a lot of English words at you today during this conversation. Words like commute, sway, bug, snooze.
It is definitely a lot to remember all at once. So to really help you organize all this new vocabulary in your mind, we have reached a very special part of our show.
It is time for Part 5, the vocabulary breakdown.
Usually our wonderful vocabulary guide Crystal joins us for this segment, but today she is not here, so I am going to step into her shoes and be your vocabulary guide.
You are going to do great. How's this going to work?
Well, I have been keeping track of our conversation, and I wrote down a special list of 10 keywords that I think are absolutely essential for our listeners to master.
10 words to put in their toolbox.
Exactly. I will clearly define the word. I will give you a simple example sentence to show how it is used, and then this is the most important part. I want you, the listener, to repeat the word out loud.
Do not be shy wherever you are listening.
Right. Say it out loud to practice your pronunciation. Are you ready?
I am ready. Let us do it.
Okay, here we go. Word number 1.
What is the first word?
Embarrassing. This is an adjective. It means making you feel shy, uncomfortable, or silly in front of other people, like how I felt when I locked myself out of my house in my work clothes.
That's a great example.
Here's another example sentence. It was very embarrassing when I dropped my glass of water in the quiet restaurant. Now, I want you to say it. Repeat after me. Embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Good. Word number 2. Passion. This is a noun. It means a very strong, intense feeling of love or enthusiasm for something. Something you love doing very much, like our Deep Dive podcast.
A passion project.
Right. Example sentence. Playing the piano is her greatest passion. Repeat after me. Passion.
Passion.
Word number 3. Commute. This can be a noun or a verb. It is the regular daily journey or trip from your home to your place of work.
The dreaded commute.
Yes. Example sentence. My morning commute takes 30 minutes by train. Repeat.
Yeah.
Commute. Word number 4 is nightmare. This is a noun. Literally, it means a very bad, scary dream while you were sleeping. But in daily conversation, we also use it to describe a very unpleasant, difficult, or frustrating real-life situation.
Like trying to find parking.
Exactly. Example, losing my house keys yesterday was a total nightmare. Repeat. Nightmare.
Nightmare.
You are doing great. Word number 5 is paradise. This is a noun. It means a perfect, wonderful, beautiful place where everything is exactly right.
Not the crowded city bus.
Definitely not. Example sentence. The quiet, tropical island felt like absolute paradise. Repeat. Paradise.
Paradise.
Word number 6. Sway. This is a verb. It means to move slowly and rhythmically from side to side or back and forth, like Evan trying to stand up on the moving bus.
I sway a lot.
Example. The tall trees sway gently in the wind. Repeat. Sway.
Sway.
Word number 7 is convenient. This is a very useful adjective. It means something is easy to use, useful, or helpful to you. It saves you time and trouble.
We all love convenient things.
Example sentence. Buying my groceries online is very convenient. Repeat. Convenient. Word number 8, exhausting. This is a strong adjective. It means something that makes you feel very, very tired. Not just a little sleepy, but completely without physical or mental energy.
Like working a 12-hour day.
Exactly. Example. Running a full marathon in the summer heat is exhausting. Repeat. Exhausting.
Exhausting.
We are almost done. Word number 9 is crowded. This is an adjective. It simply means full of people. So full that there is hardly any empty space to move around.
Like the morning train.
Right. Example, the shopping mall was extremely crowded on Saturday. Repeat. Crowded.
Crowded.
And the very last one, word number 10, calm. This is a beautiful adjective. It means a feeling of total peace. Quiet, You are not stressed and you are not angry.
Feeling right before sleep.
Exactly. Example sentence. The blue lake in the morning was perfectly quiet and calm. Repeat. Calm. Excellent job, everyone. If you repeated those out loud, you have just successfully added 10 powerful new words directly into your English toolbox.
Thank you so much for leading that, Erin. That was wonderful. I love the way you explain the definitions so clearly.
It is my absolute pleasure. Those are such incredibly useful words for daily life. Exhausting, crowded, calm.
These words are absolutely perfect for accurately describing the many ups and downs of our normal daily lives.
Listeners, you have done a genuinely great job today. You stuck with us all the way to the end. You actively listened to a very long, detailed English conversation about daily routines.
You learned all about our slow mornings, our desperate struggles with the snooze button, our technical jobs as software engineers, and our quiet, relaxing evenings at home.
And you picked up some excellent new vocabulary words and natural idioms along the way.
Before we go, I want to remind you one last time about your homework. If you want to study this topic more deeply, please check the description box right below this audio player. Click the link to download the completely free PDF guide.
It has extra practice exercises that are so helpful. It is truly the best possible way to ensure your brain actually remembers what you learned today. Do not just passively listen, actively practice.
And my final piece of advice to you today is this. Your daily life is the absolute best classroom for learning English.
That is so true. Try it tomorrow morning. Every single time you make your morning coffee, silently say to yourself, I am making coffee.
Every time you step onto the bus, look around and think, this bus is very crowded today.
Tell yourself the running story of your own life in English. It is the secret to fluency.
Thank you so much for joining us on LinguaWave English today. It really was a huge pleasure to talk with you all.
It was a pleasure to spend this time with you. Keep practicing, keep building your toolbox, and we will see you next time for another deep dive into the English language.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.